morning, it's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to pull some cards and share some guidance for this week ahead. That's this week starting Monday the 10th of February through to Sunday the 16th of February 2025. So, it's so good to connect with you today. I'm coming to you live from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Monday the 10th of February, and the time is something. The time is 7:20 a.m. I want to send out a big extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website and through my new gallery, Harmony on High Street. Thank you so much for your support. So if you're new to watching, welcome. What I'm going to be doing is using my Oracle cards. These are my cards that I illustrated and created. We have two decks combined. We've got the Speed of Light Oracle cards and my Animal Kingdom Oracle cards, and these have been combined to make a deck of 110 cards. So I'll be using this combined deck to find the best cards that the majority of us need for this week. I won't be pulling every single one every single day. I'm going to just be laying out some cards for the week, and then I'll be intuitively determining what goes where and that type of thing. Excuse me. So the dates and the timing of things, this is not the most important thing. The most important aspect of these types of readings is the information, not the timing. So don't be fixed that this has to be Monday because I said it's guidance for Monday. It may be Sunday for you if you're watching this on Sunday, or it may be Tuesday. I find timing is really tricky to predict, and I find that it tends to be governed by how fast or how slow we move through things. So if, a door might open, but it might open after we go through something else or after we learn a certain lesson. And it could be pushed back, it could be brought forward, depending on how much we're procrastinating or how much we're sort of invested in seriously preparing ourselves for that new door opening, that kind of thing. So don't put too much weight in the timing and the dates. It's the information that's important. So I trust that Something Shared supports you. I do recommend that you take on board what feels right and what resonates and what fits into your life easily, and let the rest go. Allow yourself to be surprised and think of this as a guide only. So welcome to all new viewers, and welcome to my regular viewers as well, and those of you who pop in from time to time, welcome. Good morning, Pamela. Pamela's in Cape Town. Good morning. Lisa, welcome. And Victoria is here. It's lovely to see you. Thank you for being here. So I'm shuffling the cards and I'm asking the cards out loud. I would usually do this in my head. I'm asking the cards to show the majority of us. What do we need to know? What do we need to know for our highest truth for this week ahead, starting Monday the 10th of February through till Sunday the 16th of February? And the best cards for the majority of us are these. Now, why do I say the majority of us? Because I know full well that this is not going to resonate with everyone. So I could say the best cards for everyone, but that would be unrealistic. I would prefer to say the majority of us for this sort of reading. If I'm doing a reading for an individual, then I'd be looking for the best cards for that person and declaring their name. So I'm just popping these cards down here next to me, and I'm going to pull the cards over as we go. So we're looking at Monday. Monday, we've got a Speed of Light Oracle card, Monday the 10th of February. And that card is the Yogi, card 32. It says Epiphany, learn, lead, and comprehend. So this is, well, the first thing to talk about with this card is it tends to be about learning and leading and the relationship between these two energies. We might think of them as opposites, and in some ways perhaps they are, but also in many ways they complement each other. When we're learning, we're also, well, we can be leading the way for others, but hopefully we're at least leading the way for ourselves. So we can also think of the student and the teacher sort of thing with this energy. As the teacher, as we're leading, we're also learning. So let's be careful that we're not thinking we're something special and that we know our stuff, and that and we're ignoring the opportunity to continue to learn as we're leading the way, or continue to learn as we're teaching or guiding others. This card is also perhaps biggest around the epiphany energy. So epiphany is like a light bulb moment. It's like something, a little piece drops in. It sort of seems like a random thing. You know, sometimes you're washing the dishes or doing something very mundane, and some problem that we've been thinking about for a little bit, it's like suddenly a piece just drops in, and it feels like it drops out of nowhere, and then this light bulb moment, or the light bulb turns on, and we have this realization. Now, it could be a clarity that's come, a little piece of information that we've been waiting on that gives us the green light to go, for example, or it could be more connected with the past. Sometimes we think about, you know, why did this happen? What happened in this situation that makes no sense to us? And sometimes these epiphanies can be like a little drop in of perspective or realization as to why we needed to go through that thing. Sometimes we go through, in fact, often we go through situations or experiences in our life and we don't have any idea as to why this happened now or this kind of thing until we get after that, until we get past it, and we can look back and go, oh, now I see why this had to happen in this order or in this way, because it led me to this person or it led me to this thing. So it's like a realization of the synchronicity of things if it's related to the past. If it's related to the future, it's probably more of a clarity that drops in. But this epiphany, especially around Monday, it will be when we least expect it. So we're probably best to somehow surrender our quest, or surrender our questions, surrender our problem, or what we're trying to find clarity on, surrender it and just sort of let it sit in the background for a little bit while we go and do what we need to do. And it's usually in those moments when we sort of surrender it that the answer tends to come. If we're expecting it or waiting for it, or we're feeling impatient for it, it's not going to come, because it's just going to be out of that range, if you like. It sort of sits on the outskirts waiting for that moment when we have it cleared, or we've surrendered something. Or even if sometimes we go, right, I don't care anymore, I'm just going to do something else, then sometimes that's when the epiphany drops in. So something's probably going to be clarified for us on Monday, and it could turn up as an epiphany. It could turn up too as a reflection of things that we've got going on, and a realization of our perspective or our perception of what's playing out at this time. So a very interesting card. Now let's let's turn this card over for the best card for Tuesday, the 11th of February. It's an Animal Kingdom Oracle, and we have the rabbit. The rabbit is card 16, and it says, to make your move. Even if you feel scared or petrified, there is a scaredy bunny, a scaredy cat feeling to this card. So it's likely that we feel scared, that we feel fear in regards to making our move. It might be quite a literal thing for you. Perhaps you are literally preparing to make your move, and maybe you've got fear arising. Maybe you're scared and excited at the same time, which is a strange energy to be sitting in, because they seem to sit quite in similar vibrations, this sort of scared energy and this fearful, this excited energy, which is very interesting. So, what are you contemplating at the moment? What do you feel scared about? Because if you can find your way to that fear, the thing that you're fearing, that might help you understand, or help us understand, what we perhaps need to make our move with. There is action in this card, so there is movement, but if we're paralyzed by fear, if fear is overriding everything, then we're probably going to be feeling paralyzed and helpless. So if we feel stuck and helpless and paralyzed, then it's probably our fear winning out. If we do feel that, I do suggest that, or I've personally found it helpful to use, if I feel strong fear, I need to step into increasing my strength. And sometimes it is physical strength. Sometimes I need to actually strengthen my body. But certainly to strengthen myself, so that if this is the level of fear and this is the level of strength I'm feeling, and the fear is louder, then the fear is going to want to stop me. And if I'm not feeling very strong, then the fear will stop me. So what my aim is to, well, okay, this is the fear. I want to build my strength. I want to build my courage. I want to build the strength in myself, so the strength becomes louder than the fear. And then I'm going to have the strength and the desire, even though I feel the fear, to push forward through it. It's like, to me, fear is like a veil. And it's a veil that tries to stop us, usually from doing something. Well, obviously we wouldn't go walking out in traffic or anything like that if it's to do with our survival. But if it's a fear of facing something, or a fear of moving forward, or a fear of letting go, or a fear of saying something to someone, I've got to get my strength louder than my fear, so that I have the courage to move through that veil of fear, and so I can let that pass. So there is a fear present potentially, and it might not just be present on Tuesday. We may have been feeling it build. We may have been ignoring it or dealing with it in other sorts of ways. But this is an energy that's showing that it is an important time to make our move. To proceed with something, unless the fear is louder and it's paralyzing us, and we're deciding to listen to the fear and, oh, it's too scary, I'm just not going to do this. So maybe something to think about, because it's going to be up to us whether we listen to the fear and let it stop us again, because I'm sure it's happened before, or whether we try and override the fear, perhaps by building our courage and bravery to push through the fear and see what's on the other side. Often I've noticed that the louder the fear is for me, the more important the thing is on the other side. So the fear, I feel, is like a way, it's trying to keep us small, and it's trying to keep us held back. It's trying to keep us in our comfort zone, because it's safe in here. It's scary out there, the unknown. We don't know what's going to happen, but there is a sense of a thrill in that seek for the unknown as well. I find that's the space I'm in. So the fear can come right on, because if the fear comes loud for me, I know that there is something important on the other side of that. So this is our card for Wednesday, the 12th of February. It's another animal kingdom, and it's the wolf. It's the wolf card, 21. The wolf is our battle companion. So what does that mean? It means that we have support as we walk, and protection, perhaps. We could add support and protection as we walk through this minefield that we're facing. So we have a choice. We could be like the rabbit, and we could be paralyzed and decide, well, it's too risky, the unknown, so I'm just going to continue doing what I always do and let the fear win out. Then this card's probably not really going to be in effect for those of us who may do that. If we can take small steps and see that it's safe out here, this card really supports the rabbit very well, because it's showing that we have this sort of wolf, or a dog, perhaps that sort of energy, as a loyal companion, as a support, as a protection that can help guide us through this temporary time we're going through, this minefield of sorts. So it's like our path going straight, and then it comes down, and then we go through this temporary minefield, and our path is unclear, and there are mines that we might step on. So the wolf is here to help guide us through the minefield, so we can go through this temporary It may even be a difficult and challenging time. So we can go through this, get through it as best as we can, and then come back up from this dip in our path and back up to our path again and be back on the straight and narrow path, if you like. So we're going through, potentially some of us, a bit of a temporary challenge where we might be facing the unknown, and we might be facing potential mines going off or explosions going off around us in our life. So we've been encouraged to trust in our intuition as we guide and walk our way through, and trust that we have the support and the protection that we need as we go through this challenge, whatever this challenge is, in general at the moment, but especially around Wednesday. I feel, though, that this walking through the minefield, it might be something that we just have no choice about. You know, it could be something that's sort of happening to us. So we might feel scared about it. We might feel paralyzed. We might not want to proceed. We might want to turn back time. We might want to curl up in bed and not come out for a couple of weeks. But the rabbit is showing that we feel fear. So let's strengthen ourselves so we can push through the fear and continue to move. Because then the quicker we can move, the quicker we can get going, the quicker we can get through this minefield, this temporary period on our path, this temporary challenge that we're facing, so we can come up the other side and get back on our path again. The more we listen to our fear and it stops us and paralyzes us, and we're just too frightened to step, we're too frightened to move in case we tread on a landmine in our life, then the slower this period's going to be. So we're encouraged to make our move, to take the steps and deal with the consequences as we go, so we can get out of this phase and back up and out the other side. This is so we've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so we've got Thursday. Let's do Thursday and Friday with this card. So we've got Thursday the 13th, Friday the 14th of February, Animal Kingdom Oracle, and we've got more movement here with the Stallion, card 1. I love this card. I find it so inspiring, and it says, untie yourself. So again, this is movement, like the rabbit's movement. The wolf is slow movement, but it's more of a support card. This is definitely movement and action. This is about untying ourselves, especially if we felt held back in some way, or we've been in a rut. This is about letting our wild spirit run free. So what is wild and has been too tamed within you? Maybe you've been, I don't really know. Maybe there's this suppression or compression on your energy. Maybe you've been restricted for a while for some reason. Often we restrict ourselves, so it's there's probably no one to blame for this restriction that we're feeling. I mean, maybe there is, but often we restrict ourselves. So what have you been holding back with? Maybe you've been listening to your fear and it stopped you so many times that maybe you've got into the habit of just feeling fear and then backing off, feeling fear, then backing off. Maybe this week it's an opportunity for us to break that habit and break that tamed, restricted, constricted energy that we've been in the habit of reacting in that way. Maybe this is an opportunity for us to feel the fear and step forward anyway and see what happens. As long as it's not life or death, although a part of us may feel that it is life or death, but if we can get perspective and really look at the situation and go, well, this actually isn't life or death. I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen here? The person says no, it doesn't walk out, the door is closed. Then there's nothing different to if I didn't pursue or if I didn't proceed. So let's get some perspective, I feel, this week. Let's stop following the habit of letting our fear win out and to stop us from proceeding, especially if we're feeling like we're in a rut or we've got loud fear at the moment. How can we push through? How can we free ourselves? How can we step out into life, into the adventure of life and see what life has to offer? How many more times are we going to let the unknown scare us so much that we don't proceed? How many times have we done that already this year or in the last couple of years? Or even for the last couple of decades, if you've been really suppressed. So can you break the habit? Are you ready to push through your fear? Are you ready to feel stronger in yourself? Because the strength will become louder than the fear, and then you'll feel strong enough to proceed. So strengthen yourself. Maybe that's the key for some of us who may have been feeling paralyzed by fear for some time. Strengthen yourself. Go for your walks. Do some regular exercise. Strengthen your body. Strengthen your mind. Strengthen yourself. Practice some positive affirmations. I can do this. I'm strong enough to proceed. I'm capable of doing this, whatever it is that you might be stepping into, that kind of thing. There's a lot of motivation to push through fear this week, and there's support to do so as well. Okay, that was for Thursday and Friday. This is our card for Saturday, the 15th of February, approximately. This is an Animal Kingdom Oracle card. Here we go again. Not the bear, but this is so in sync with what I'm talking about, because this is literally Bear card 43. It says move out of the rut, which I was just talking about. So this is about coming out of hiding. There must be such a strong desire for and favourable energy this week for us to pull ourselves out of hiding, to get out of our comfort zone. Our comfort zones are good. Comfort zones are good when we need to rest, when we need to recover, when we need to heal. Our comfort zones are good if we've been through a very turbulent time. Then we may be comfortable in our comfort zone for some time while we recoup. But comfort zones can become a rut. They really can. We can become so comfortable in our comfort zone that we don't do anything else, and we're too scared to try something new, or we just want to stay at home, or we just want to stay with the familiar. It has its place, but it's also can become quite limiting and quite a rut. It can actually become, our comfort zone can become our no growth zone, is what I call it. Because actually the place where we grow is when we're trying to expand and push on our comfort zone and step into the unknown. So we've got our comfort zone and then the unknown zone. And the unknown zone, or that border between the comfort zone and the unknown, that usually is where our fear is loudest. So I find, and I visualize it as, at least for myself, that my comfort zone, say, might be this big. And then as I push and challenge myself, and as I go into new experiences and I try things, whether they work out or not is another thing. It doesn't matter. I want these new experiences. I want to meet new people. I want to see if I can actually do this. I want to see if I can be a mum without other mums around me. I want to see if I can try this crazy idea, if it's something I want to pursue. Now, every time I do that, I'm pushing on the boundaries of my comfort zone, and I'm actually extending my comfort zone out. So that means that my comfort zone becomes a bigger place, but also I become stronger because I'm pushing out and I'm making, I'm creating, what would it be? Like a larger space of comfort to return to rest and recover and to heal, or whatever I need to do. But also makes me braver because I can keep pushing on those boundaries of my comfort zone. Now, comfort zone, that boundary between the comfort zone and the unknown is not exactly like a boundary that we might have with people or with our time, for example. This is a way of really focusing and making sure we're harnessing the energy as best as we can. So it's not exactly the same boundary, but there does feel to be like a boundary of fear, potentially, or a boundary of unknown doors that sit on the outside of our comfort zone. So if you're tired of being in a rut, probably look at your relationship with your comfort zone, because if it's something that you're kind of pushing and pulling with, I want to meet new people, I want to try this new job or whatever it might be, but I like to stay at home, or I like to be around the people that I know, then maybe you're keeping yourself in the rut by always staying in your comfortable place, because we need to push and challenge ourselves. We need to push, well, I find it helpful anyway, to push on our fear and really expand our comfort zone. So moving out of the rut, this is coming up for Saturday, but it's certainly the energy, it's in the air at the moment. So are you ready to move out of your rut? You might feel like you're being pushed out of your rut this week. Of course, fear may win out, but hopefully it won't, because there are things for us to experience. There are people for us to meet. There are things for us to try and see and to learn and grow with that are quite thrilling and exciting, and enticement to step out of the comfort zone. I'm very intrigued to see what this card is. Sunday the 16th of February, it's a Speed of Light Oracle. We have the expression card, card 31. It says communication, listen, share, deliver, and trust. This is about expressing ourselves. So it's about moving the energy that we've been bottled up with. And we may even find, just based on this week, it could be us admitting to ourselves that we're scared. Because that is a huge thing. And sometimes the fear, if we don't name it, if you like, it has more power over us. So sometimes just us saying, look, I'm scared. I'm scared of this thing that I'm facing right now in my life. And there are many things that we're all feeling scared about, no doubt. And it is in many ways, I find, just a part of life, especially for me when I am pushing myself out into new things, or when I'm dealing with new challenges that I haven't faced before. Fear is normally there, but it's how loud or how dominant that fear is probably something to determine. So sometimes it is just expressing and admitting to ourselves, I'm scared, but I'm going to try this. I'm scared, but I'm going to build my strength so I can move through this fear and just get through this difficult period, something like that. So this is expression energy for Sunday, or for later in the weekend. It's very much about moving energy that we've been bottled up, that's been bottled up inside us. It could be communicating with ourselves. In fact, that's probably the strongest feeling with this card, is asking ourselves questions, feeling for the answers, admitting to ourselves how we really feel or what's really going on for us. And then also really listening to how we feel. It could be asking ourselves questions. These are very powerful. Like, how am I feeling right now? What's holding me back? What am I afraid of? And then feeling for the answers can be very, very powerful. So when we're clear about what's going on for us and we're communicating well with ourselves, and it's going to mean that we can communicate it clearer and better with others who we need to communicate with. So getting energy out, expressing things through words, through listening, through a creativity of some sort, some type of getting the energy out of us from being bottled up is coming up for Sunday. Now this, if we've been bottling up for a while, it may come up as an explosion of anger, for example, and we might wonder, where on earth did that come from? So connecting with and listening to how we feel perhaps before Sunday might help us avoid some type of explosion and explosive energy that we're either doing or that we're receiving, which is never comfortable. So let's feel our way through this week. Let's stay attentive to our body, how we feel, what's really going on for us, especially around fear, the unknown, the difficulties that we're facing right now, how to untie ourselves and free ourselves up of the restrictions that we've been feeling, how to get out of our comfort zone as well, maybe a part of that. So if we can listen throughout the week, we might save ourselves some explosive expression, perhaps later in the weekend. But let's just see how we go. So that's that. I am going to pull a theme card in just a moment. But before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment. Please share if you're inspired to. I have some online events coming up this week. So Thursday is our next card reading club, and our theme is rebirthing. So you're very welcome to join us for that. It happens on Zoom. And Friday, so this is Australian time, it may be the day before for you, but Friday is our next online art class, and we're looking at our theme of the Birthing 2025 series. And I believe our focus this week is on breakthrough. So we're looking at the energy of breaking through the barriers, which actually very much ties in with what I've been talking about. If you'd like to join me for either or both of those, you're very welcome. There's a discount for members, and you can learn more about these events on my website, templeofbalance.com.au. Also, we have Temple of Balance's 20th birthday on Tuesday, the 25th of February. That's my time, Australian. It could be Monday for you. We are hosting an online birthday party. We have 5 different events happening throughout the day on Zoom. So there's drumming circle. We're going to be playing with our cards. What else am I doing? Sound healing, I think. I forget. I've got so much going on right now. But anyway, you can learn more about that on my website. It's only $10 a ticket, or you can come to all of them for $30. That's Australian dollars, and the Australian dollar's pretty bad right now. So have a look if you're interested. Recording is available if you can't make it live, but you do need to pre-book. And also, if you're in Tasmania, we have next Saturday, this Saturday actually, the 15th of February, is Temple of Balance Open Day at my gallery, Harmony on High Street. And we'll be doing a few activities there as well. So check that out if you're interested. You'll need to go to Harmony on High Street on Facebook to see the information on that, or to leannepeters.com, my other website. So if you want to learn more about my cards or these events or anything that I offer or do here or have created at Temple of Balance for the last 20 years, then please visit templeofbalance.com.au. And thank you all for your support over this last 20 years. I'll talk more about that in the videos to come when it is closer to our birthday. So I'm looking for the best theme card now. The theme card will help us see the bigger picture for this week ahead, and give us a guide, really, something to think about or keep in mind for our week. I mean, there's a lot of theme energy coming up. There's a lot of energy very similar here. So I'm very interested to see the theme. And the best theme card for the majority of us for this week, the 10th till the 16th of February 2025, is this. It's a Speed of Light Oracle card. And it is Initiation, card 21. It says Mastery, Milestone, Progression, and Greatness. This card shows an openness, so opening in the front of our body. Fear will close us down. Fear will have us feel small, and fear will close us up. This card is like an overcoming of that. There's an opening here in the front of the body, and we're opening up to the possibilities, the potentials of new experiences, of things perhaps outside of our comfort zone, of perhaps good things or whatever it might be that we're opening up to. So let's make sure we're not too closed this week and letting fear kind of overpower and dominate us. We want to stay open. We want to stay clearly connected with ourselves, really, and also with other people. But we need to stay attentive and aware of how we're doing, what's going on for us. Initiation periods are not easy. That's why it's an initiation period. Initiation is like a really important test. So when we are finishing up our year at school, a really important year, we have an exam, that's an initiation. So throughout the year, throughout the learning period, we go through tests, we receive new information, and then at the very end of that class or whatever, we have an exam to see if we really know what we've been taught, and we really put into practice all that information that we gained during that learning period. So this is like an initiation. An initiation is like a life exam to see if we really know what we claim. It could be something like that, or that we're tested to see if we really know our stuff moving forward, so we can go to the next level of learning, or the next phase of our life. So we might find during initiation time, sometimes we have things that we've recently been dealing with come up again as a test, as like an exam test, an initiation test. So we might find ourselves tested this week. We might find ourselves going through maybe quite big or important tests to see if we are really ready to pass and really ready to move to the next level. It might be it's likely tests that bring up fear and that push us to challenge ourselves and see what we're really capable of and what's possible for us. So initiations time periods are important personal times as well. But when we overcome that initiation, that sort of exam, when we get the results in and we've passed, then it's an exhilarating feeling. It's a feeling of freedom because we've moved out of that cycle or that phase or that chapter. We've passed the initiation test, even though we don't literally probably see it or know what it is, but we feel it in life because we're being tested and challenged. When we overcome that as best as we can and we move out the other side, then there is that feeling of exhilaration and freedom that follows, and a sense of something new, spring being in the air. What can I do now? Thank goodness that's over, that kind of feeling. So this is an important week, an important period of testing, of challenging us to see if we really know our stuff. So it's going to be up to us to, I won't put that card back, we'll take a photo of it. To figure that out for ourselves. So thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic week. And I'll see you again soon. Namaste.